Hey, welcome back to the show. It's the I Hate Tipping podcast. I'm your host, Collin Key. Thanks for coming back for episode number 23. This one happens to be the mobile edition. And that's all the energy I have. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. So I hope you enjoyed that intro extravaganza there. Shit. I'm on my way to work right now. This episode number 23, how you say that in German? 32, I believe. No, 23. I feel like a goofy dickhead right now. Sorry. Episode number 23, mobile edition, like I said. The reason is, well, there's a couple of reasons why I decided to do this mobile. There's like a few reasons. So I might as well talk about that real quick. The first reason is I started my new job and it consumes my entire week. Like I think I get literally an hour and a half to 2 hours a day to myself with this fucking job. I start at 5 p.m. and then I work until at least 5 a.m. Like that is the minimum that it takes me to get the job done. And that's if everything, like all the stars align and everything. But like yesterday, I didn't get done till fucking 7 a.m. You do the math on the hours on that shit. So I'm tired all the time. This is my third week of this shit. On Saturday, I basically sleep for most of the day to get caught up on my sleep for the week because I'm only getting like maybe 5-6 hours. And it's not even good hours of sleep. So Saturday's kind of blown. Like I just fucking sleep and then I wake up and start drinking. No, it's not exactly. Well, you know, I eat something before I start drinking. Anyway, and then I get my kid weekends, so that's blown. The second reason I decided to do this mobile edition of the podcast is because I bought this new microphone. It's a what they call a lav mic, which is a lapel mic, which is a kind of like you see on people's, like clip to people's shirts and shit when they're on like TV shows. I bought this microphone to go inside of my motorcycle helmet so I can do moto vlogs, which is something that I'm trying to expand into for my YouTube channel. And this microphone just has pretty dope sound, like in a closed setting like this. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well just do this, you know, this time, since I don't really have time to sit down in front of the desk at home in my little janky ass studio in my apartment. So I might as well just make the time of my commute. Oh, that's another thing about my fucking job that I started. I have like a 45-minute commute every day, to and a 45-minute home. So you add that on top of the hours that I'm working. It's insane, but the money's good, so I'm gonna hang in there for now. Anyway, so another reason that I wanted to do a mobile edition of the podcast is just to break it up, just to break up, you know, the monotony, switch it up a little bit, a little change of fucking pace, just to see, you know, spread my wings. I'm all about trying new shit, and I mean, I have all this extra time when I'm driving to and from work, so I figured I might as well make some use of it. What else has been going on with me? So the new job, I had a thought today, like I came to a conclusion, call it an epiphany. The stupidest living creature on the face of the earth. Can you guess what it is? Like, in your opinion, what would it be? It doesn't matter. I can't hear you if you're like talking to yourself. Your coworkers are probably looking at you like you're strange. Just keep those answers inside your own head. Don't be a weirdo. Decide in your own brain, in your own mind brain, what you think the dumbest creature on the, like, living animal creature on the face of the earth is. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. It's the fucking stink bug. Have you ever like watched a stink bug? Like they are literally retarded. Like they can't know anything. But then you look at a stink bug and like they're all body and no head. Like their head is the size of like the tip of a nostril hair. So there's no room for a brain in that. So it's like, okay, it's not their fault. I get it. So with that in mind, like the size of the head equaling how intelligent something is. Fuck, I need my coffee. What was I talking about? Stink bugs are dumb as shit, but they have like a tiny little like non-existent head, so their brain is gonna be little as fuck, so you can't blame them for being stupid. What's the number 2 dumbest creature on the planet Earth? What would you say, like a fly? Nope. Flies are pretty crafty. They're like ninjas. Like, it's very hard to kill a fly most of the time. Like, you really got to have a technique. You got to figure out the way that they work and operate. They see you coming. They have like 38 eyeballs, and you know what I mean? They can fucking, they're on that shit. Flies have a brain. Like, they're born and they're instantly like fucking expert navigators, and they know flies are pretty smart. Like, they will dodge the shit out of you. The second stupidest fucking creature on the planet Earth is a deer. Now, how does that work? Why am I talking about that? I had a theory about that. Like, how a deer is like just barely smarter than a stink bug. It's because the inside of their fucking head, like, they have a decent sized head, but it's shaped like a bugle. And so, like, you can't, like, brains are not like triangular pizza shaped like that. So a deer, like, actually doesn't even have a brain. They have like tubes and shit that run like from their ears and just like make little pathways around the inside of their skull, and then they either like the sound comes in and runs through those tubes, and it like either comes out their asshole as a fart or like comes out of their mouth as a burp. Like, all the sound just goes in their ears, circulates around inside their head, inside of tubes, and then exits back out of their body. That's why if you ever like stand near a deer, like in the wilderness, they make weird noises all the time. Just which makes them look even stupider. Why am I talking about deer, you ask? Because I hit another fucking deer at work the other day, Thursday, which is deer number 10 in my professional driving career. The first one was back in 1997 or 98 in the military. I ran over a baby deer in a fucking giant tanker truck, and it it turned into a red rug immediately. It was just flat. I mean, it just was obliterated. And then whenever I like drove past it, and then when I came back, like, I don't know, an hour later, there were 2 coyotes fucking eating it. This was in like Germany. That was crazy. It's not funny. It's tragic. I'm sorry to laugh at death. Whatever. What? Oh yeah, I hit another fucking deer at work last week, and this was on the fucking interstate highway, and the damn thing just walked out in front of me and stopped, and then it like looked behind it. So they walked out into the fucking interstate in front of my truck and stopped and looked back like, huh? What? Bow! And when I hit the bitch, the motherfucker went underneath the truck, and I felt it like, grr, grr, like underneath there, and then it just like got caught on something and drug for a while. And I kept looking in my mirrors like, where the fuck did it go? And I drug it for a long time, and then finally, boom, it came out the side and went underneath the rear tires and shot out. I was like, motherfucker. But the thing about it is it doesn't even get my heart rate up anymore. Like 10 of them. I wrote a whole chapter about deer in my fucking book. I got a long history with those morons. And I mean, like, I don't mean to be like insensitive, but they're fucking dumb as fuck. You would think that like they would eventually, like, a deer is too stupid to know that there's any danger from like gigantic moving fucking loud ass things coming toward it on the highway. But it's smart enough to know the difference between something that wants to eat it and a human being. Like, a deer will look at you like, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, if you're walking and you come across one in the woods, that happened to me. I was on my mountain bike and I came across one. And it just looked at me like, what? Like, what? What do you want? What? I will fuck you up, dude. And I'm like, okay. And I got on my bike and I turned around and went the other way because I knew that I'm not trying to fight no deer. I didn't have a knife or anything. They're strong. Physically, they're all bone and shit. They will fuck you up. I've seen videos. It's on YouTube. Look it up. And it knew that it could fuck me up. And it would know that a fucking like a mountain cat, if there was a mountain lion or something, it would know, oh shit, that thing's gonna eat me. Let me fucking bail. But it doesn't know that a fucking 18-wheeler blowing a loud ass horn, whoa, flashing fucking bright lights. It doesn't like have any sense of urgency of that. It's just like, huh? What? Wait a minute. What? I don't know. And it's like, this isn't a new relationship. Deer and people's cars have been colliding for fucking over 100 years now. You would think that something would get in their fucking DNA and they would eventually evolve a little bit to stay away from cars and roads like other animals do. Nope. I hate them because they're so dumb. You have to question the design. Like, what, these things are meant to be food. That's it. Like, what? Anyway, what else is going on with me? So I decided a bunch of things. I decided I want to pump. I definitely want to continue doing the podcast, regardless of the job or whatever, whenever I can. So that, hey, if I got to do it in a car every time, as long as I can hopefully make it semi-entertaining for y'all, that's what I'm going to do, because I kind of love it. I just love doing it. And it's weird that I actually find myself missing editing the other day. Like, fuck, man, I kind of miss fucking around in Audacity, even though that was like the bane of my existence for the longest time. I fucking hate editing. It's the worst, but it's nice to have that skill and to be able to just get in there and know what I'm doing. And I don't want it to go away. I like learning shit. So anyway, I want to continue with the podcast. I want to expand my YouTube channel. I want to do video game reviews and shit. I want to do some, like, obviously some moto vlogs. I also decided that I want to get myself a street and trail, a dual sport. And it's funny that I say that, and the dude just rode past me on a DRZ 400, which is the bike that I was looking at recently. Anyway, he's sitting up there. As soon as I said I want to get a dual sport, he starts revving it up. We're living in a simulation. So I want to get a dual sport for sure. And that's partially, I give credit for that to Cycle Cruiser. I've been all up in his fucking videos for a while now, and he always talks about the WR250. Woo! Hooligan lifestyle. What the fuck does he say? Fucking urban fuckery. He got to me. I'll give him 100% credit. I was like, yeah, man, I want to do some urban fuckery. I want to ride through some people's yards and speed away from the cops and just blast up into the woods and get away. That's taking it too far. But yeah, it'd just be awesome to be able to ride on the street and then blast off road and do some vlogging the whole time. So I've been thinking a lot about that and how I can get one, and how I got too many fucking bills to be financing another vehicle. And then I was like, well, fuck it. I started looking on Craigslist and on Facebook. What's it called? Facebook Marketplace. Which is funny because so many people are on Facebook Marketplace now, and Craigslist is like almost dead. So I guess that's I didn't know that until a guy at work said that to me. He said, Craigslist is dead, dude. Facebook's where it's at. And he was right. I found a whole bunch of used, like, DRZ 400s, which is the Suzuki Street Trail 400cc, if you don't know. And then I was thinking maybe I'll get a 250, just because, I mean, I watched a whole lot of videos on these things. And while the DRZ 400 is a very, very, very popular bike, like, that's probably the most popular street and trail from what I can tell. Everybody who has a 250 loves a 250, and they say that it's actually better in the woods. I just watched a video the other day of a dude who had a 400 and a 250, and he went up the same, like, hill climb and, like, section of trail, and he had a better time on the 250 than he did on the 400, which is interesting. You would think bigger engine, more power equals faster, but it doesn't when you're talking about off-road. So anyway, I've been thinking about that shit, and I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just save up some money. I could get a fucking, like a 90-something, there's a 93 Kawasaki 250. There's a couple of them for like $1,500, running, inspected, good to go. Like, buy it and ride it right now, have fun right now. I was like, well, fuck, I'll just do that instead of trying to finance some shit and have another payment and all that. And that was my plan, but then, wouldn't you know, how did I find this out? I don't even know how the news came to me. Oh, Cycle Cruiser put up a video. Hey, it's back and better than ever. Kawasaki just came out with a brand new 250, and it's got a good price. It's only like $5,000, brand new. And it has fuel injection. And it comes with a fucking camo paint option. And a whole bunch of other shit. And I was like, fuck! Now I really want that. So maybe I save up that same $1,500 and just put it down on a new one of those. And the payment will be cheap. And I just pay off all my other little stupid charge cards and shit in the meantime while I'm saving up. And I like that idea. Only problem is they're not going to be released. I just called a dealership yesterday, and they said they're not going to have them in until like December. And I don't want to wait that long, but at the same time, it's smart. I'll just call it a Christmas present for myself or something. But then, and we're probably not going to get a fucking winter this year anyway. Looking at the weather, will it ever be winter again? It's 91 degrees now. Anyway, what else? So yeah, look for my YouTube channel to be exploding here pretty soon. What else? I want to do like some video, some gun shit, tutorials, and some fucking like some product reviews and some video movie reviews and just a whole bunch of shit just to try to get more traffic to. Damn, I want my coffee. I can't reach it back there. Fucking shit ball. What else is new with me? So yeah, I've been having problems with this microphone as far as putting it in my motorcycle helmet and using it for moto vlogs. I mean, I've just tried and moved that thing inside the helmet to different positions so many times, and it's not working out. And I just couldn't. And I watched all these videos on how to do it, how to position it, where to put it to get the best sound, and blah, blah, blah. And what happens is it starts off being good, like crystal clear, basically how it sounds right now. And then when I start riding, it starts going. And it took me forever to realize that what's happening is my motorcycle is so fucking loud that it overwhelms the microphone. Like my motorcycle is very, very loud. Super loud, like like obnoxiously loud, and the microphone can't fucking handle it, and it's a bummer. And I'm trying to figure that shit out because I like to talk while I'm riding, and that's called a moto vlog. So I'm trying to figure that shit out. I just saw another dude. He had the exact same problem, and the way he fixed it was he wrapped the microphone in like a piece of furry, like imitation fur cloth, which basically, I guess, just cuts down on the decibels and shit. I don't know, we'll see. So I spent my whole last weekend fucking with that shit. I like took so many test rides and videoed the shit with my GoPro, and I mean the shit just sucked every fucking time. Being with this job, I'm drinking a fucking lot of coffee. Not like other people. There are people like who's that comedian, bald head, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake. That dude drinks, like if you listen to his podcast, what is his name? I don't want to forget his fucking name. I don't remember his fucking name. He has 18 names. The only one I remember is the Puerto Rican rattlesnake. And what's the name of the podcast? He has like 4 podcasts. One of them is Legion of Skanks, and another one is it's been a while. I can't remember. Anyway, if you listen to his podcast, he drinks. He's like, Shannon, can you give me a cup of coffee? Thanks. 10 minutes later, Shannon, can you give me a cup of coffee? Thanks. 10 minutes later, Shannon, can you give me another cup of coffee? Thanks. And it's just constant through the entire fucking podcast. So there are people who crush coffee way more than me, but I have been crushing coffee myself lately too, and developing a taste for coffee, and now I want to get a French press. Like I've been saying for a while that I want to get into gourmet coffees and learn how to like make it really good and shit, and I just found out about a French press and what that is, and so I'm getting one of those motherfuckers and a grinder, and I'm gonna find me some gourmet beans, and I'm just gonna be a full-blown fucking coffee addict, connoisseur, douchebag. I don't know. It's fuck it. I'm all in on the coffee. I don't care. It's an addiction, but you know, it's better than smoking crack, I guess. I was sitting somewhere. Oh, I was sitting at the bar with my buddy, and I started saying how I wanted to fucking come up with some new sports, and he was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "New sports." I was like, "Dude, fuck football and basketball and baseball and soccer and hockey. Like, we need some new shit, preferably stuff that doesn't involve a ball." Some new shit to get excited about. Like, the UFC was the shit for a while, and now it's all about money and steroids and politics and bullshit. So fuck that. We need to come up with some new shit that's going to be awesome. And we started spitballing, throwing ideas back and forth, and I came up with a couple, and he came up with a couple, and I have a list of them right here, and I forgot all about this. This was like a month ago. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that right now because I want to really think about these some more and let them gel in my brain and really like try to literally make that shit happen some kind of way. But yeah, I got some good ideas for that. One thing I wanted to know is, I had a question. Why don't we have urinals in homes? And I kind of think I have the fucking answer to that. I think it's because like space, like bathrooms are already like cramped up a lot of the time. Unless you're rich and you have like a big ass master suite or something, there's not usually much extra room to put a fucking urinal next to a toilet. But I think we need to start like incorporating that shit into designs of homes, like in the future. I think we need to start implementing that shit. Just make it standard. Anytime there's a new house being built, make sure there's room to put a urinal and a toilet. Because I don't know about you, but whenever I take a piss, like it's more work than it needs to be. Like, I always gotta fucking do something with the toilet lid. It's usually down, or if it's not down, then If I gotta take a shit, then I gotta put it down. And then if there's a female, if I got a girlfriend or something, hey, put the toilet seat back down. Like, they can't fucking, I stumble in there at night in the dark and I sat in the water. I'm like, oh, then you're dumb. Dickhead. Anyway, I gotta put the toilet seat back down. How about you remember to put the fucking seat down yourself? How about you, when you go in there, you don't just assume that the seat's down. I gotta do extra work. If I go in there, I gotta take a shit, I'm gonna make sure the toilet seat's down. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I gotta fucking, I don't know, when I piss, like, I'm always conscious of the fucking splash, like hitting the water spray or the piss spray hitting the water and splashing everywhere. And then I always get like a dab of toilet paper to wipe around the ring when I'm done. And then I'm always looking on the floor to see if there's a splash, just because I'm like hygienic and shit. I don't know. And with a urinal, there's no splash. I don't have to fucking do any of that shit. Like, we have urinals in men's bathrooms. Let's have them in the home too. That's all I wanted to say. What the fuck? Do things that make sense. We pee standing up. Let's have urinals. Even if they're like skinny and smaller, like a different kind of a design. It doesn't have to be the giant ones with the big chrome handle like in fucking Applebee's bathroom. Just a fucking, a little cute fucking home urinal. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure Donald Trump has urinals in his house. Probably fucking titanium or platinum plated with his initials. Probably a picture of Obama in the bottom where the urinal cake. He probably has Obama face urinal cakes. Anyway, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see urinals in new construction. What else? Another question that I have is, how come we don't have like window up and down on key fobs for cars? Like, as far as I know, and this is just as far as I know, I don't know like high-end fancy ass cars if they have the shit or not, but I know Volkswagens had a thing where you could hit something on the key fob and it'd make all the windows go down or up or something. Why don't we have that standard like on all cars that have key fobs? That'd be so cool. Like, number one, if you go in somewhere and you forget to roll your windows up, you look outside like, oh shit, it's about to rain, hit the button and the windows go up. Or if it's hot as hell outside, maybe you tap it twice and it'll just crack all the windows. Give us these options. Like, how fucking difficult could that be? It's not difficult at all. It could be just an option, an inexpensive option too. That's not no big deal, is it? I'm just gonna just put it like this. Like, I'm declaring myself the new leader of the world. Okay, so and these things that I'm putting out to the world on these podcasts, I command. Alright, so this is my first command as your new leader. All key fobs on all new cars from now on should have advanced options like cracking all the windows or rolling the windows up from your key fob. I want to see that. All cars moving forward. And I want to see a new urinal design, like a slimline, cool urinal. Maybe even one that just, like skinny, that goes from the floor up for little boys. Young kids, little young male children. So it works for them and for adult males. And let's make those standard in all homes moving forward. All right. This is my first decree, my first and second decrees as new leader of the whole world. So I hit a deer the other day. I talked about that. I didn't talk about, in previous episodes, I've talked about how every night at my last job, it was also a driving job, I would see something crazy every single night. Damn near, like from prostitutes touching me and like little kids coming up. There was a kid who came up to me and talking about somebody was trying to murder him, but he wouldn't let me call the police. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do, dude? It was that shit. Like, there was that dude who drove his car, or the woman who drove her pickup truck into the fucking police station and died. And I just imagine those cops sitting inside that police station, and all of a sudden, BOOM! And the wall just caved in and a dead broad in a pickup truck. Oh, fuck. Can you imagine that? If you were just sitting at the lunch table and a truck came through the wall with a dead, drunk lady? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, well, the most recent thing that I saw was last week, and it wasn't that dramatic, but it definitely scared the shit out of me. And what it was I was on the interstate at night, probably, I don't know, maybe around midnight or something. I don't know. It was the middle of the night, and you have to picture it. There's a 3-lane road going this way. Speed limit's fucking 70 miles an hour, I'm pretty sure. I'm in the middle lane, so there's cars on my right, and then there's cars on my left. Or excuse me, there's cars on my left, and then, here's what it was. It was a 2-lane highway going the way that I was going, and then 2 lanes going the other way. And then it turned into a third lane on my side. And just as it turned it, like, so there was, I think there was an on-ramp on my right that merged into the 2 lanes that I was already on. And so now there's about to be a third lane, and I'm gonna be in the middle, right at that merging point. There was like a little space, like a little triangle space, like right as I'm trying to fucking describe this shit. Anyway, there was a little space right where the fucking lanes came together, and there was this woman on a fucking bicycle in that space. It was a fucking bicycle, like a Quaker with, like a fucking, what are those people called, the Amish, like you would see an Amish chick, like it had like a basket on the front and like the big wide handlebars, and she's just fucking just like it looked like it had a bell, like ring ring, and it just like shit in the bed. She's just riding in that fucking triangle spot, just about to come like and ride straight on the line in between the fucking new lane and the lane that I'm in. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I like swerved out of the way there, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I went past her and I looked down, and it looked like she was just all happy and shit, like, it's the middle of the night, the speed limit's 70, she's on a bike with no reflectors, no fucking lights, no nothing, no high-vis fucking vest or bright green shirt. She's just like in a summer dress on this bike riding, and I was like, she's going to die. And there was nothing I could do. Like I wanted to stop, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy? But I just, like, traffic was rolling. I couldn't see back there. I don't know if she stopped. I don't know what happened. It was fucking nuts. And it like disturbed the shit out of me for a long time. I need my coffee. Shit. So yeah, that happened. I wanted to look on the news and see if there had been a woman killed on a bike on the fucking interstate. Well, I'm pretty sure there was. Like, I don't know if she was committing suicide or if she was like high on something and just didn't realize where she was or what. But I don't know how, and I don't know how the fuck she got there. She was in the middle of the fucking highway. Like, I don't know if I described it good enough. She's probably dead. The reason I didn't look it up on the news to see was because I don't know exactly what area I was in. Like, I don't even know what state I was in. I was tired, and I was like, am I in West Virginia, or where the fuck am I? But anyway, yeah, my new job, and I also wanted to mention, I'm almost here at my work, but every night for work, I drive from Pennsylvania through West Virginia and then into Ohio, and then I come back, and I'm doing fucking averaging 600 miles a night, which is why the hours are so long. I wanted to mention that, and it's just insane. But they warned me before I took the job that the boss, the hiring manager, said, hey, this is a long run. You think you're going to be able to do it? And I can see the people, like, everybody's like, hey, you're not going to quit, are you? You're not going to quit, are you? Like, I guess they have a hard time keeping somebody in this position, and I get it. And so they're all being like super nice, like not pressuring me and shit. It's like whenever I was talking about how last night sucked, it's because I fucked up in a couple of ways, just being tired. But one of the main ways I fucked up was by delivering a whole bunch of shit to the wrong fucking address altogether. And then whenever I got back in the morning and was getting unloaded, they were like, hey, where's the shit for this place? And I said, I delivered it. And they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I gave him my paperwork, and he was like, did you deliver it here? And I was like, oh, fuck. I took that whole shipment and left it at the wrong fucking address. And this is at like 7 in the morning. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and go take my personal vehicle and pick that shit up and go deliver it where it goes. And I'm just not going to get any sleep today. Like, I would have had to do it in my personal vehicle because I was legally at my limit for the hours yesterday. Like, as a commercial driver, you have limits on how many hours you can drive. But anyway, yeah, so, what was I saying? Oh, what I was saying was, like, I went in, like, the dude was like, you did that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And he walked away. And I expected him to be, like, furious, like, fuck, the customer's mad, and we did shit, but, and I was, like, all prepared to go and just fix it. And I went in, after I got done unloading, I went in, and I was like, all right, dude, I'm gonna go get that shit and take it. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I sent Joe. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, no, it's cool. Joe's on his way right now. He's already almost there. And I was like, no. I was like, dude, I did it. It's my mistake. I'll fix it. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. And I know that he was mad, and I know that Joe didn't want to go do that shit because it would have took me a good 3 hours to fix that mistake. But I would have done it. And I know that dude didn't want to do it, but they don't want me to quit is what I'm getting at, because this run is ridiculous and they have not too many people willing to do it. That's good for what's going on with me right now. My apartment's a mess. I haven't done laundry. I haven't done dishes. I haven't made my bed. Like there's not even sheets on my bed. Like I've been laying on the mattress cover and just I've been exhausted and I need to hit the lottery is what I need. So if anybody out there knows the winning lottery numbers, because my friend who will remain nameless, who was supposed to give me the winning lottery numbers so that we could split that shit and both move to California and then go to Hawaii and enjoy the rest of our lives like lavishly, she failed. She failed me. She failed herself. And she just utterly failed to deliver the correct winning numbers. I'm being stupid. I need coffee. More later. Bye. Wait. I remember some other shit that I want to talk about. I knew there was some other shit that I want to talk about, and now I remember. Another thing that happened to me recently is I went to the grocery store, and a guy that I used to work with years ago, back when I used to work for this lumber company, we were both drivers for this lumber company together, and he's an older dude. Well, I don't know. He's older than me. I'm in my 40s. He might be 60. I don't know. You can't tell. He's like a fucking Latino, and they're kind of hard to age sometimes. I don't know what the fuck. He looks like he could be like Cuban or maybe like Iranian or something. He's some sand nigga type of nigga. Sorry. At least I didn't say wetback. I'll probably beep that out. No, I won't. It's all in good fun. Here, nigga. There, okay? So I can say wetback and Jew. And I say fucking wop, whatever. We all niggas. Oh yeah, but I seen this dude at the grocery store. He works there. I knew he had worked there. He had got actually shit canned from the job, and nobody liked him at the job. Like nobody. Like he genuinely was kind of a fucking asshole, but I got along fine with him. He used to give me rides home from work and shit when my car was broke, and but I mean, I've seen another dude like about to beat his ass at work. People really hated him, and he got fired because it's just funny. Like I said, we were truck drivers for a lumber company. And the one customer that he used to go to, the customer complained that he would park his truck like right outside the main office. Like not where he was supposed to be unloading the truck. He would pull up right in front of like the main office door, get out of his truck, walk in the office, walk past all the people who worked in the office and go to like the corporate bathroom and take a shit every time he went there. And it would like fucking blow up the whole office with shit smell. I'm not making this up. This is the truth. And they hated this dude anyway, and that was what the final straw that they used to get rid of him. And because a customer complained and said, yeah, he comes in here every day and he fucking takes a shit in our corporate office bathroom right in the office, and it stinks up the whole office, and we're tired of it, and so they let him go. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. But I saw, and that was years ago. Had to be fucking 10, 12 years ago or something when we worked together. Anyway, I saw him at the grocery store where he works, and the dude, I was like, hey, what's up, Ed? And he just kind of looked up at me, but not really. He's a real short little dude with like big bushy eyebrows and like dark like Palestinian hair and shit, but it's like starting to gray. He looks like a fucking, like he should have a curvy sword and be riding on a camel. That's what he looked, with a fucking turban. That's what he looks like, but he's real short. Anyway, he looked up at me, and the dude, like, he was just like, huh? I said, well, how you doing, Ed? What's up, man? You don't remember me? And he just shook his head, no. I said, really? I said, we used to work together at the lumber company. And he shook his head, no. And then he started bagging up my shit and ringing me up, and I'm noticing his hands are like shaking. And then I'm noticing that he's like dropping my fucking shit on the ground. Like he literally dropped like my pack of chicken face down on the ground. Face down, like wing, like the clear plastic side down on the ground, I think. And I like immediately when I'm getting, holy shit, that was almost a T-bone fucking accident, asshole. Who the fuck comes launching out of a Burger King like that? Asshole. But yeah, what I'm getting at is this dude, he must be breaking down. Like I can like just immediately tell that he has something. I don't know if it's like Parkinsons or something. Like something is, you can just tell, was fucking eating away at him. He was shaking, he was dropping shit, he didn't have no coordination. He either didn't remember me, or even worse, I think maybe he did remember me and he was just embarrassed and he just kind of didn't want to talk, and because he was like falling apart. And that shit made me really sad. I was like, fuck. Life can suck so bad so many ways. Like you could be doing fine and then all of a sudden just fucking fall apart like that. And I feel bad for the dude. Like I said, I never had no problem with him. Anyway, what else? Yeah. All right, just a couple other quick things. Last Friday, I was driving from my first stop to my second stop, which is fucking 4.5 hours away. And like halfway there, I got hungry and I just got it in my head that I wanted rallies. And I don't know if they have rallies where you live, but the rallies where I live isn't there anymore. Like it's been gone for like 15, 20 years or something. But I used to love rallies when it was around. But I knew that they have rallies in Ohio, is what I'm getting at. So I Googled it, Google mapped it, whatever. I fucking GPS'd it as I'm driving up the interstate. Bam, there's one just a few miles that way. I went to it, and when I got there, I was just like, oh, fucking happy that I actually found one. And so I'm standing there looking at the menu board, and this other woman comes up, and she's standing there, and I couldn't decide between a fish sandwich and like the rally burger or whatever. And so I asked her, I was like, hey, which would you get, the fish sandwich or the rally burger? And she was like, they're both good as fuck. Like the fucking fish sandwich is good as fuck and the burger's good as fuck. You can't go wrong with it. You definitely can't go wrong with the burger, and you definitely can't go wrong with the fish sandwich. But hold on, I got coupons. I was like, oh, okay. She walked away, went to her car, came back with this whole page of fucking coupons. She's like, yeah, you can get a free french fry with this, a free smoothie with this one. You can get buy one, get one fucking sandwiches for this. So you can get the fish sandwich and get the burger for free. I was like, holy shit. Like, she had the best coupons I've ever seen in my life. And she just gave them to me. And I was like, will they let me use all these? And she's like, you can use all of them. They don't give a shit. And she was like, Andy, manager's cool as hell. Hey, Andy. He's like, hey, what's up? Hey, I told him you're cool as hell. He's like, yeah, all right, I'm cool as hell. He's like, yeah, hook him up. I gave him coupons. He's like, all right. And I was like, oh shit, thanks. Long story short, I ended up getting like 2 full meals. Like, I got a chicken fucking tender meal and a fucking fish sandwich meal for $3.99. Sometimes people are cool as shit. That woman was cool as shit. And then her and her husband are like sitting there. They just look like the happiest people the happiest couple I've ever seen in my life. They were just like in seventh heaven, sitting there eating their rallies and just happy. And I'm like, fuck, I want to be like that one day. Anyway, got a flat tire. I went to pick up my mom from work last week. I was so fucking pissed off. Holy shit. I pulled my pickup like right on the side of the building she works at. And I'm like looking where I'm riding as I'm pulling, because I'm pulling up to the curb and the coast is clear. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I guess a bottle had been rolling underneath the car that was parked already up in front of me or something, or had been rolling down the street, and like a Snapple bottle rolled underneath my front tire and pow! And exploded, and fucking all these giant chunks of glass were stuck in my tire, and it's just and I got video of it. I might throw it in with the fucking video for this for YouTube. I was so fucking pissed off. I can't even like emote the anger. Like I probably had, if I had farted, it would have been fire and it would have burned a hole in the fucking seat. Like that's how angry I was. And that's all I want to say about that. Like if you litter, if you throw your fucking bottles on the ground, and shit like that happens, like I think you should fucking lose your head on television. It'll only take 10. We'll do 10 people. You get caught fucking littering like that, off with your fucking head on the news at 5. First 10 lucky motherfuckers will get caught, and then we won't have to worry about that shit no more. It's that simple. I hate you if you litter. If you're listening to this and you are one of these fucking people who just throw your trash out of your car while you're driving down the street, I fucking hate you. Like, and I don't even understand the fact that you would, like, you can't, like, that you want the inside of your vehicle to be fucking clean to the point where you can't wait to where you're going to throw your shit away, yet you don't give a fuck if the whole outside world is a shithole. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, it seems to me that if you were in that much of a hurry to get the trash out of your vehicle, you also wouldn't want the street you're driving down to fucking have old shitty fucking chicken bones and pizza boxes and broken bottles and used condoms and dead fucking animals and shit either. It seems to me that you like things to be nice and neat, but that's just, fuck you if you litter. Die. Sorry. What else? Okay, so, I don't know, there's this thing about me. Well, I love to laugh, number one. And I love comedy. I love stand-up comedy. I love comedy, like, on the radio, like Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern and shit like that. I'm just a person who loves to laugh. And, like, to the point where I remember, like, distinct times in my life where I would just get the giggles out of nowhere. But I would get the giggles, like, till I literally fell off the bench, like, at work. Like, there's a few times in my life that I can think of when I absolutely just literally fell on the floor laughing, like couldn't breathe. One time was the first time I ever saw South Park. Like when South Park first came out, I was in the military in California. I might have even talked about this before, I don't know. But this dude that I worked with, brought in a VHS tape of like the whole first season of The Simpsons, or not The Simpsons, of South Park. And we sat there, like we all went and did our fucking jobs. We got everything done as fast as we could. And then we had like 4 hours left in the night where we didn't have to do anything. So we turned off the lights in our fucking office and just put the tape in and just fucking sat there watching. And I literally was on the fucking ground, unable to fucking like untense my stomach muscles from laughing so hard. But there's been other times like that when I just started laughing for no reason. I just get the giggles out of nowhere. Anyway, what I'm getting at is last Friday, I don't know why, but I was in a fucking giggle mood and I laughed so hard that it got painful and it wasn't fun anymore. And it started with me. I sent a video from the Opie and Anthony show that's called Jim Norton Hates Animals. If you want to laugh, look that shit up on YouTube. It's hilarious. But I wanted to send that to my friend who I used to work with. She's a truck driver too. And I did, and then I ended up listening to it myself, and then that set me on like a rampage of listening to all my old favorite shit from Opie and Anthony. And I'm telling you, I laughed until I cried, and I laughed until I couldn't breathe, and I laughed until I almost like crashed the truck my work truck I was driving. It just wasn't even fun anymore, and I don't know why. Like I was only listening to shit that I've heard before 1,000 times. It was all still funny to me, but it shouldn't have been that funny. And what I'm getting at is, that's the point. Like sometimes I just get like hysterically laughable. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I just start laughing at anything. I laugh when it's inappropriate, and I don't know if that's a fucking, if it means I'm a psycho or what. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, last Friday I laughed like for hours and hours and hours. I'd say for at least like 4 hours. I just laughed damn near nonstop. Just one thing I just played one video after another after another. If you're interested in laughing your ass off, like I said, Jim Norton Hates Animals. Look that shit up on YouTube. Look up Opie and Anthony, The Whistler. Type in Opie and Anthony Summertime. What is it called? Summertime Fun or something. I think Dan Soder's in that episode. Or just type in best of O&A or the worst of O&A. And just be prepared to laugh, because all those are fucking really, really funny shit. Type in Bill Burr Sherry's Berries. SHARI apostrophe S Berries. BERRIES. And listen to that dude do a live commercial for his sponsor, Sherry's Berries, and see if you're not laughing. All right, that's enough of that. I'm running long here. So now I'll say next segment.
Next segment!
True story. So here's the setup. It's a 4-lane road. 2 lanes this way and 2 lanes the other way. There's no divider in the middle. I'm in a pickup truck. I'm driving. My uncle's in the passenger side. We pull up to a red light. We're in the leftmost lane of the 2 lanes that are going this direction that we're headed in. So next to us on the left, the traffic is flowing the other way. We're at a red light, we're stopped. We're stopped right in front of a gas station. Okay, there's a gas station to our right. The car next to us stopped with enough room for a dude in a Cadillac to pull out of the gas station in front of him. And then we also stopped with enough space, because I saw him like creeping out. He was trying to cut across our 2 lanes and make the left into the traffic that was going the opposite direction. The dude, it was a big ass Cadillac he was in, and the dude looked at us and smiled and waved thanks, and then he pulled and he got his car right to like the edge, and he's like creeping out. I was looking at the dude, and he looked at my uncle like, can I go? Because he couldn't see if there were any cars coming on that street coming the other direction. And my uncle didn't look either. He just like nodded at him like, yeah, go ahead, dude. When the dude saw my uncle's nod, he took that as a yes, it's clear to go. But my uncle wasn't giving him a yes, it's clear to go. My uncle was giving him a, yeah, you're welcome for letting you come in front of us type of move. Can you guess what happened? The dude in the car thought it was clear to go. He just pulled out, and I mean, wham! Fucking got T-boned hard as fuck by, I don't even know what the hell it was, but it was a disaster. It was the 2-car totalation bad accident that was that dude's fault. He didn't even look, and then and then the light turned green, and my uncle was like, oh, we just left. He was like, I didn't tell that dude shit. I wasn't telling him to go. I was just nodding as he said, that's exactly why I don't let people out. Yeah, I don't even know what made me think of that story, what made me remember it, but the shit happened. Nobody got hurt, I don't think, but it was like, damn, both cars are definitely totaled. And we left. It didn't have anything to do with us. We were witnesses, I guess, but it was cut and dry. The dude thought he was clear, he wasn't clear. And he was basically doing some bullshit anyway. I think he was cutting across a double, nah, it wasn't a double yellow line. It was a regular ass. It was like the kind of a road with like a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit that you'd see like in front of like a mall or something. I don't know. But yeah, that shit happened. And I felt bad. And because of that, I'm very careful about gesturing to people to do shit because it goes sideways sometimes. Which reminds me, that's why I don't usually make any like gestures toward people when I'm on my motorcycle. Not very often. Like if somebody's trying to come out onto a road that I'm on and they're like sitting there inching out, some people say that you should like blow your horn or flash your high beams or some shit like that to get their attention so that they see you there on your motorcycle. But I don't do that because half the time them fucking morons will think you're telling them to come on out. Then they'll pull out right in front of you. I do not do that shit. So moral of the story, be careful when you're letting people in or out because you don't want to be involved in any of that shit. Next segment. I got a hygiene tip for you today, and it's a fun one. Here's what I want you to do. And this is only for people who listen to music with earbuds. I want you to go and find your earbuds, okay? Wherever they are, if they're in your book bag, in your purse, if they're on your desk, if they're in your pocket, if they're in your ears right now, listening to this podcast. I want you to pull them out from wherever they are, and I want you to look at them, okay? If you see earwax on the inside hole of that damn earbud or anywhere around the little rubber tip on the white smooth plastic shit from the iPhone bullshit versions of earbuds that suck. Worst design ever. I mean, those things literally just fall out of my head. But anyway, take a look at your earbuds. If you see earwax anywhere on them things, caked, and if you're gonna see it, it's probably gonna be in the little hole as opposed to like smeared all over the rubber pad or the smooth plastic. But if you see any of it anywhere on there, then your ears are nasty and you need to start using Q-tips to clean your ears. And you're not what I would call fresh. Clean your ears. If you're afraid of Q-tips, whenever you get your wash rag lathered up in the shower, get a good lather and just kind of push a little bit of suds up into your ear. The suds will dissolve the earwax that has like fallen down into the canal. That earwax is dark brown and gross because it has like all the dirt and shit that went to your ear. It's like used and it's disgusting. And that's why it falls out of your ear, because it's like, we don't need that anymore. Like the whole rest of your ear canal has the fresh shit. The old shit comes out and you need to clean that out. Use a rag with soap or use a Q-tip and just don't go in very far and clean your fucking ears. It surprised the shit out of me how many people that I've seen who have I've looked at their fucking earbuds and they're just caked with fucking earwax. You would think that there's like a standard that we all kind of live by of cleanliness in the world, but there's definitely not. So that's your hygiene tip for the day. You might not be doing a good enough job of cleaning your ears. No big deal. Just look at your earbuds. If you see earwax, first of all, get some peroxide on a paper towel and wipe your earbuds off. Get all that nasty brown goo out of the little hole. You'll probably find that your volume gets a little bit louder when you're listening because the hole was caked up with nasty shit. And then start cleaning your ears out. There's no part of your body that does not need cleaning. You understand? Next segment. Episode number 23, movie reviews, mobile edition, baby. Yeah. I got a few movies in the bag to talk about today. What was the first movie I wanted to talk about? Okay, so I can't skip. There was a movie I saw like before I had started watching it right as I recorded episode number 22, but I didn't finish it until after episode 22 was done, and that movie was called What Happened to Monday. What Happened to Monday is starring Noomi Rapace. You know her. She was in Prometheus and a bunch of other shit. I really like her. She's a cool chick. I like to see her and shit. They call her Noomi Rape Face on what the fuck is that shit? Honest Trailers. For what movie was that? I don't remember. Yeah, it was Prometheus. They called her Noomi Rape Face. And I thought that was funny as hell. Anyway, What Happened to Monday is the name of the movie that I saw. Stars Noomi Rape Face. What it's about is it's in the future, and I think Glenn Close, is it Glenn Close? I'm about 88% certain that it's Glenn Close is like the president of the world or something. And it's like there's way too many fucking people in the world, like way too many, like super way over fucking crowded, to the point where they had to make a law where I think you're only allowed to have one kid or something, kind of like China, that type shit. Well, I mean, they take it to the umph degree though in this movie. Like they're super serious about the fucking shit, to the point where they will murder you and murder your fucking kids if they find out. Like, you're not allowed to have any siblings. So who's the dude who played Willem Dafoe? He's in it too. His daughter has 7 kids, and then I think she dies giving birth, and they keep the birth of the 7 daughters. There are 7 twin daughters, so whatever, that's septuplets or whatever, and they're all played by Noomi Rape Face, and they keep the shit hidden from the government. And Willem Dafoe is the granddad. He ends up taking care of them all, and they don't want to, they don't want to sacrifice them. They don't want the daughters to die. So he keeps them hidden in like secret rooms in his place, and he teaches them and shit. But they eventually do go to school. But what they do is like they'll go to school one at a time, but they will all dress exactly alike and look exactly alike. And then whoever goes to school that day will come home and tell everybody else what they learned, so that everybody's on the same page. And they do that shit for like their whole lives until they're grown, and then they get a job, and then it's the same thing. Like they all dress alike, and they all give briefings to the rest of them when, each day is one girl's day to go out into the world. And the granddad names all the girls Monday through Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the girls' names, just because it was easy. And also, the girls just take those days for their day out in the world. So Monday gets to go out in the world on Monday, Tuesday gets to go out on Tuesday, and so forth and so on. All right, that's enough of that shit. What happens is the chick Monday disappears. They don't know what the fuck happened to her. We don't know what the fuck happened to her. We just know there's some fucking foul shit happening, and the shit goes crazy and upside down and wild as hell. And I will say this, that movie gets fucking brutal. Like, it gets pretty fucking hardcore. Did I like it? Yes. I liked it a lot. I would watch it again. Was it perfect? Fuck no. It was far from perfect. There was a lot of things wrong with the movie. Like, even I told my mom to watch it, and she did. And one of the things that she pointed out that was wrong with the movie was the chicks, some of the fucking the daughters had different accents. My mom was like, "Oh, if they all grew up in the same fucking room and they're septuplets, like, did this one go to France or something? Why does she speak with a fucking French accent? Why does this one sound like she's Bulgarian or something? And was she from Russia? What's up with that?" It was kind of weird. But so I don't know. Maybe it was a way that Noomi tried to just separate each one, like to give them their own characters or whatever. Because all the girls, while they looked exactly like, obviously, were their own individual person with their own personalities. Blah, 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 blah. The movie's good. Noomi Rapace did a great job. The movie gets fucking, with action and the fucking murder and shit, it gets fucking pretty hardcore, which I dug a lot. It's definitely worth watching. Glenn Close, I believe it's Glenn Close, is a psychopath, and so check that one out. I give it my seal of approval. Kinda. I mean, it's alright. I wouldn't fucking buy it, but it's definitely worth a Redbox or a Netflix or something. Movie number 2, I saw, what's it called? It Comes at Night. And I had been wanting to see that for a long time because I like scary movies and shit. And I think I remember hearing good reviews of it, but I could be wrong about that. It Comes at Night, the blockbuster action flick by Keanu Reeves. Psych, no. It Comes at Night stars, I think that dude's name is Joel Edgerton. Him. He was in, what movie he was in was, I don't know if that's his fucking name, I think it is. But he was the older brother in Warrior with Traps McGillicuddy. Bane, what the fuck's that dude's name? Him. The dude who played Bane, and his fucking trap muscles were they looked like 5-pound bags of sugar on his shoulders. What the hell is his name? That British dude who was skinny as fuck in Rock and Roller, and then turned around. Was that Rock and Roller? Yeah, in Rock and Roller, and then turned around. The next movie you see him, and he's fucking diesel as shit. That was a transformation. What the fuck is that dude's name? I'm calling him Bane. Anyway, well, that doesn't even have nothing to do with it. He's not in this movie. he was the younger brother in Warrior. The older brother, Joel Edgerton, he was in It Comes at Night, and it's a horror flick, but not really. And I did not like this movie at all. It didn't piss me off. Like, I didn't hate it. I wasn't mad at it. I didn't understand it. And which is, hey, that's fine. Shit can get by me a lot of the time. I won't even deny it. And I said this, I think, in the last episode. I'm great with logic, with like ABC 1, 2, 3, put shit together, solve the problem. I'm bad at when shit is like implied. Like when you have to figure shit out. Like if it's black and white, I have a fucking computer brain. But if it's like poetry and I have to figure it out, it's not my bag. I won't hate on it, but I'm just not good at that kind of thing. And this movie was 100% that. It was like completely not what the fuck you think it is. I'm looking for this monster to be coming at night, and I swear that they implied that there's this monster coming at night, and the monster never comes. This movie is like a what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Soliloquy? I don't know. It's a farce. It's not what you think it is at all. There is spoiler alert. Okay, there is no monster. When I was done watching this movie, I was so confused. Like, what the fuck did what happened? Like, nothing happened. I mean, well, something happened. Something really brutal happened. A couple of really brutal things happened. But other than that, the movie is just a bunch of people stuck together in a house with a vaguely described doomsday scenario happening outside of the house, and the movie is about them trying to get along together, and there's supposed to be this evil force that comes at night. There is no evil force. The evil force is the tension between the people, and whether it would be ultimately enough to destroy them, you know, put them against each other. And whether it was or not, I won't spoil that, but I'll say, yeah, it's a different kind of a movie, and I did not enjoy it at all. That chick from The Girlfriend Experience is in it, and she had a pretty, I saw it coming kind of a fucking death at the end, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the movie. I don't recommend the movie unless you're that kind of a person who likes that kind of shit, where it's like not what you think it is. But I'm trying to describe. It's what is the fucking word when things are explained through other means, like when you paint a picture when you explain something without explaining it. What the fuck is that word? I don't know. I'm an idiot. Anyway, yeah, I didn't like that movie. I don't ever want to see it again. Nothing against it. It's just not my fucking type of shit. It's not my cup of tea. There is no monster. Kind of pissed me off a little bit. But yeah, I went on YouTube and looked up videos of people explaining it, and there are a bunch of them and so I'm glad, because it means it's not just me. So anyway, It Comes at Night. It goes right in the fucking trash. Fuck that movie. The next one I saw was It. Stephen King's It. You know what it is. The blockbuster movie that made $1 zillion and everybody loves it and shit. I saw the original TV series or whatever back in the day, but I didn't remember it. Like, I only remembered like little bits and pieces of it. I went to see this because of all the hype around it and everything, and I'll tell you the truth, I didn't like the movie at all. I won't say at all. I'll say I didn't hate it. Like hate it, but it's just not a good movie to me. Now, I will say, in the theater, I was surrounded by young people, like teenage little girls and shit, and like, I don't know, like high schoolers and shit, and they were all losing their minds, like so scared and shit. And there you go, right there. That's the audience for this movie. It's a kid's movie. There were cool things about the movie. I'm gonna say this: the fucking clown looked awesome, and his acting was awesome. That dude Skarsgård, I don't know his first name, but I know his last name is Skarsgård. He's Alexander Skarsgård, that dude who played Tarzan. I think that's his older brother, and his dad is the dude who played the Troll King. No, not the Troll King. The Wizard of the Night in Thor 2. The dude, the night guy, the king of the night, the darkness. Like, they wanted to turn the universe to darkness because they hated light. Their king, the dude, I think that's the Skarsgård's dad. He's an actor too. they're an actor family. Anyway, the dude who played the clown did a fucking awesome job. The CGI in this movie is fucking rock steady. That shit is awesome. The clown looks amazing. All the monsters look fucking amazing. Super realistic. Very scary. Just creepy as fuck. That clown was creepy as fuck. For sure. 100%. A+ on the fucking CGI and the whatever, the prosthetic makeup or whatever. Awesome. Other than that, the movie sucks to me. Like, a lot of the appeal of this movie is through these kids. So there's like all these young kid jokes and shit that I just didn't give a fuck about at all. Like, I heard people like get nostalgic and shit, like, oh, that's how we used to talk when I was a kid. Oh yeah, we used to say your mom jokes and all that. Great. Did nothing for me. I was just like, is this shit over yet? Like, the whole time I was ready to fucking leave. I didn't get up and leave, but I was praying for the movie to be over. It was just corny. Like, all that shit with the kids and how they had to come together. And then, like, and they didn't even do a good job of the shit. Like, so anyway, the movie is about fear, and that the clown Pennywise is a monster from another dimension who just feeds on fear. But it will literally, like, bite a fucking person in half too. Like, it will murder. But it basically needs fear to live, and these kids are like dying and shit by this thing, and it basically shows them their deepest, darkest fears, which they didn't do a good job of with that. Like, they didn't do a good job of explaining that that's what the clown was doing. Like, it was showing all the kids their darkest, deepest fears and scaring the shit out of them, and then once they were sufficiently afraid, it would murder them. But I don't know, the movie wasn't written well, period. Like, it was just too much jammed into one movie, I think, and so it didn't flow very well. The town that they lived in was so over the top ridiculous, just too much. The young black dude, his fucking granddad or his dad or his uncle or whoever it was who had him working in the slaughterhouse with him was out of control. You need to learn how to murder now, boy, or the world will murder you. It's like, what the fuck? He's 6. Get up here and slaughter this sheep, boy. It's us against the world, and if you don't learn how to kill, you will be killed. You will be the prey. You are the sheep, boy. It was just too much. Like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I just fucking, like, totally... I think my kid was fucking with my mirrors. Couldn't see that dude back there in my blind spot. Almost ran him off this bridge. I didn't see you in your little cute little car there, buddy. Sorry about that. Get you something with a Hemi next time, and I'll see you. Yeah, so the black kid's dad was just way over the top. Of course, you got to have the little girl with the abusive father, or was that a stepfather or a father? I don't know, but he was just looking at her like drooling. Oh, look who's growing titties now. Ooh, why'd you cut your hair? That's not sexy. Come here, baby. Like, locking her. It's tragic. It's not funny. But I'm just saying. So there was that, and of course she's all fucked up, you know, because she's. I don't know if he was hitting it or what, but I don't know. It was too much. Then there's the other kid. His mom was big old fatso, and she was like just eating every time you saw her, I think. And she had, what's that fucking disease or that mental shit where people need attention, so they keep their kids sick so that other people like come around. Well, there was that shit. So she was like way overbearing on her kid. And then there was the other kid who was like fat, and I don't know, like all the other kids picked on him and shit, so he didn't have no friends. And then there was the other kid who his dad used to beat the shit out of him, and his dad was a cop and would like literally shoot guns at him to make his kid. I don't know if he was trying to make him hard or if he just hated his kid or what. It was just too much. And then that kid ended up like straight up murdering people himself, or trying to. It was just, this whole town was just full of way over the top fucking scenarios. Like, there were way too many way over the top fucking families, and it's like, come on, this isn't even believable. But whatever, it's a movie, it's a fantasy. You know, there's a clown whose head spins around and it has 4 rows of fucking shark teeth. So I mean, it's like, it's not all supposed to be believable. But anyway, yeah, the movie was pretty boring, except for when people were getting killed. And then the kids got together, and they're like, we figured it out. Well, first they were like, they all split up, like, fuck this shit, everybody's dying, I'm going home. And it's like, dude, we need to stick together. Fuck you, and I hate you, and I hate everybody. I'm fucking, you know what, I'm out too. Fuck that, yeah, I'm not being a part of this dumbass losers group. You can all suck my butt farts. And then they all split up. skip to the next scene and they're all back together. Like there was no no convincing anybody to come back. They just came back. I don't know if it was bad editing or what. And fucking, oh yeah, whenever they had the final standoff with the fucking clown, like, yeah, fuck this, we're gonna kill this fucking punk ass bitch ass clown. And they all go to this haunted house where the clown is to go fight this evil thing. And they didn't take no weapons or nothing. Like not a stick, not a fucking baseball bat, not a knife, nothing. I'm like, what's your plan again? You fucking morons. The movie didn't make a lot of sense in a lot of ways. It was boring a lot of the time. It was too long. If you're into kids making fucking jokes about boning each other's moms over and over again, then sure, there's that. Otherwise, I mean, this movie is stupid. And I should have known, because most of the Stephen King movies were all just bad. Most of them. Even the TV shit, like the, what was that one book about the end of the world? That big thick-ass book that I tried to read like 4 times and it was just too much. The Stand, I think is the name of that big thick-ass, like 2,000-page fucking Stephen King book. They made that into a TV series and I was very fucking anxious to see that, and it sucked. Needful Things is okay. The Langoliers, I think that was a TV series. It was okay. It doesn't hold up. You can't watch that again. Holy shit, the fucking CGI on that is terrible. What else? Anyway, yeah, so enough of that. Plus I'm about 90% sure that Stephen King is like a blatant racist. Anyway, I'm gonna keep saying that forever. On a side note, I've been fucking reading or listening to the audiobook of the Game of Thrones for like a week now, and I quit. I listen, Game of Thrones has some really good, rich storytelling shit in it. Don't get me wrong, but that book is tedious fucking reading. No bullshit. Game of Thrones is so over descriptive. Like, I do not enjoy the guy's writing style at all. George R. R. Martin? Whatever. He had a really good brain for making a whole universe with the 7 kingdoms and all that shit. It's really, really interesting. Cool shit. But trying to read through that book, even in audiobook form, just listening to it, it's just so much to chew. It's like he has to describe every person's lapel and his boots were the finest camel hide, the side of the realm, and each eyelet loop for each shoelace was adorned with the crest of the king of the third majesty, and his hair shone in the sunlight like Crisco on a horse's mane. I don't know. He just describes everything. He describes everything too much. He describes things I don't give a fuck about. He says shit like he stroked his pointy golden beard, and he says shit like that constantly, over and over and over and over, and it's just tedious. It just makes it like a marathon. It's like, get to the point where fucking Dragar cuts off McClanahan's head already. Like, fuck, dude. Enough with everybody's fucking jacket colors and the way the onions tasted. They're constantly eating onions and meat on a stick in this fucking book also. Like, it would have really sucked to live back then. Like, horse meat and onions and turnips. And it'd be like horse meat stew and fuck, where's Applebee's? Sorry, I'm being silly. Anyway, yeah, so I quit. I got to like chapter 50 or something in the first book, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Dean Koontz, and or maybe I'll read some more Jack Reacher books while I'm driving all these hours at night. I can't do Game of Thrones. I would hope that the TV series, which I've never watched, is way condensed, because damn, dude, it is just, there's no way I would ever want to fucking read those books. Like I said, good content, way too fucking descriptive of everything. Anyway, the final movie I want to talk about is, what was it? Oh, I saw Kingsman, The Golden Circle, yesterday. Been looking forward to that for a long time. I really, 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 really liked the first Kingsman. I really liked it so much. Oh, it was great. It was great. And so I just couldn't wait to go see this one. I saw the fucking trailer for it, I think, once or twice, and then I just stopped watching trailers because I don't like shit being spoiled for me in trailers. The Kingsman, The Golden Circle. I didn't like it. I did not. And that sucks. It's a bummer. Like, I didn't hate it, but it's just, I don't really think it's a winner. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've said it in a previous episode at least once or twice before. The ultimate way for me to judge whether or not I like the movie, excuse me, fucking damn, a yawn and a burp at the same time. That's a first. Ugh, and there it is again. Sorry. But yeah, the way that I can ultimately tell if I really enjoyed a movie or not is if I'm thinking about it after I watched it, after I've gone to see it. And I didn't think about The Kingsman Part 2 not one time since watching it. And I even talked about it with my cousin last night on the phone, and I just was like, oh yeah, I saw Kingsman, I didn't like it. That was it. I really don't have much to say. It's not a bad movie. I'll give this to Jeremy Johns. I watched his review of it, and he said basically they took the first thing and they said, okay, this really worked. And so they did the natural move, which was to just do more of what worked in the first one, and that's what they did. Like, it was more fight scenes and more explosions and more over the top, like, craziness, all the shit that was really special about the first movie, and they just did it times 10. And I think that's what kind of ruined it. Like, there was some stuff in the first one, like the bad guy Samuel L. Jackson in the first one. He was a ridiculous lisp-having fucking super rich black dude who had the money to give free SIM cards to everybody in the world. Like, so the bad guy was ridiculous. In this one, Julianne Moore is the bad guy, and she has enough money to supply all of the drugs in the world. Like she said, she made $350 billion last year. And so they just took it way more over the top, and she like owned her own island and put everything she wanted in there, and she lived there by herself, like not by herself, like just her and her army and shit. And it was just too much. It was just too much. Like, the opening fight scene was very cool, but it's like, that's what you're going to get for the whole rest of the movie. It was like absurd craziness. And I mean, the story was just like basically the same thing. Like, you have a bad guy who is basically threatening the entire world. And it's like, maybe go a different direction this time. Like, you did that in the first one. Don't do the same thing all over again. So there was that. Like, there were all these robots. Not to be too spoilery, but the robots were kind of stupid and corny. They didn't really do anything for me. Like the main bad guy henchman dude, like he had a robot arm that was kind of just I think this movie lacks imagination. Like, from the outside it looks like it's full of great new ideas and shit, but it's really not. Like, it's all kind of kindergarten-y, like robot dogs and a dude with a fucking robot arm. Like, we just had a whole bunch of dudes with robot arms in Logan. It's like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but I was ready for it to be over when I was sitting there. I was like, okay, can I leave now? It wasn't that great, and I hate to say it, but there were some cool shit. And all right, there were a bunch of cool shit. Like, the first opening fight scene is definitely pretty damn cool. And the dude Whiskey, the fucking was a Burt Reynolds lookalike motherfucker in the movie. He was nice. He was fucking nice. Like, if you watch the first Kingsman, you know the Kingsmen are fucking nice. Like, they fight supreme. Like, you're just not winning against them, period. Which was one of the best parts about the first one, was at the end of the movie, the main Kingsman, the young dude, the new Kingsman, he had to fight against Samuel L. Jackson's right-hand woman, and she brought it to him. Like, they had a good fucking fight, and I was like, damn. And while in the middle of the fight, Samuel L. Jackson is looking at her. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Quit playing with your food and kill that motherfucker already. She's like, she's like, I'm trying. He's nice. He's fucking nice. It was so good. Fuck, the first Kingsman is so good. If you've never seen it, go see it. It's great. Or, well, I mean, go just buy it on Blu-ray. It's good. It's 4K. Buy it. It's excellent. The second one, you might like it. Jeremy Johns didn't really like it that much, and I'm saying I didn't like it. I'm disappointed. I'm glad they made it. I can see that they really poured their asses into it, but I think they needed more creative writing. They should have made a totally different scenario instead of just an amped up version of basically the same one from the first movies. And that's my review of Kingsman. I'm almost to work now. That's it for this episode. Movie reviews. Kingsman, thumbs down. Well, I'll say Kingsman is a thumb sideways. Like, if you didn't see the first one, then you should just go see the second one. It's a great time at the movies. I just had expectations for it. Like, if you didn't see the first one, definitely support it and go see the second one. It'll blow your fucking head off with the crazy shit that's happening. You'll be like, what the fuck? But if you saw the first one, I think you're going to be pretty disappointed in the second one, unless you're just like a simple person. Like a simpleton. Oh wait, no. Well, should I just talk about TV too since I got a couple more minutes? Why not? Rick and Morty episode, I don't know what episode it is, 8 of season 3. Probably my second favorite episode of this season, for sure. My first favorite episode is Pickle Rick. Hands down, the best episode of this fucking season. This last one, this most recent one, is called Morty's Mind Blowers. Fucking great. I was laughing out loud. It was fucking good. It was great. And it was like I said before though, Rick and Morty is not a show for people who just want mindless entertainment. Like, you really got to pay attention, and it's a highbrow cartoon. Not highbrow, but it's definitely, you really got to pay attention, and you got to want to pay attention, because it's clever, and it's not like The Simpsons or something like that, where it's just like in your face. Like, a lot of it is like brilliant subtlety. For example, spoiler alert, in this episode, like, a main theme of the fucking show, Rick and Morty, is that Rick Sanchez, who's the Rick in Rick and Morty, is the smartest motherfucker in the universe. And they throw in sometimes blatant reminders of how brilliant he is. Like, people will flat out say, he's the smartest motherfucker in the universe. What the fuck do you expect? But then there's other times when the shit's kind of like not so in your face, but it is in your face. And so here's a perfect example. In this episode, well, it's not about the fact that Rick's so smart. It's that he has shit going on all over the universe that'll just blow your fucking mind. There's a part where Rick and Morty are in his fucking garage, and Rick is like working on some fucking experiment or something, and Morty's standing behind him, and Rick says, Morty, I need the lights out real quick for the shit to work. Run over to the wall and hit the leftmost light switch. The leftmost light switch. And that'll turn the lights off just for a few seconds for me. And Morty says, okay. And he walks over to the wall, and you hear a click, and the lights are still on. And then you hear another click, and the lights go off. Then you hear another click. And then Rick just continues, and he does his shit and whatever for a few seconds. And he says, okay, lights. And then you hear another click, and the lights come back on. And so Morty walks back over to him, and Rick says, all right, cool. Hey, so did I just hear 3 light switch clicks? And Morty's like, huh? What are you talking about? He said, yeah, I don't know. It sounded like you maybe hit the wrong switch and then hit the right switch and then tried to quietly hit the other switch, the wrong one, and do it quietly so I wouldn't hear it. And he says, is that what you did? And Morty's like, maybe. And he's like, come on. And Morty's like, what? He's like, come on. And so they leave the fucking garage and go through some fucking door, get in a fucking spaceship, fly to another fucking, I don't know, galaxy or something real quick, go inside some fucking room, and there's all these like bodies connected to like life support machines, and all of them are like, beep. So the power obviously got cut off to the life support to all these motherfuckers that Rick had. I don't know if they were hostage or what. They all died because Morty hit the wrong light switch. And it's like that. It's like Rick has shit going on all over the fucking universe. And it's like just different dimensions and there's just so much shit going on. It's just fucking great. It's just fucking great. And you should watch it. And that's it. Anything else? I watch Flip or Flop a lot, but that show's getting on my nerves. I just watch it because I'd be dreaming of having my own nice dream house. And so I'm like, yeah, when I get my own house, I'm going to do that. Oh, fuck. Look at those sconces and that chandelier. Whoa, that pool. Yeah. So I just like dream while I watch that show. But other than that, I haven't been watching any TV because I've been working so much at my new job. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Preacher and Blood Drive. Those are the other 2 shows that I was really digging this season, and they're both over now. Final episode of both of them was pretty damn good. Preacher, I had talked shit saying that there was no way they were going to wrap up all those stories by the end of the season. Yeah, they definitely did, and I feel like a douche. Well, I don't feel like a douche, but I was wrong, and I'll admit it. There was so many well, let me think about it. Fuck, some shit happened. Oh yeah, Tulip died. That was a fucking shocker. Even though we already see what's about to happen. She's about to come back. And yeah, that was a good ass episode. If you watch Preacher, you know I'm talking about. Casey the vampire. Tulip, the preacher's girlfriend, got into it, or she didn't get into it with that white lady. She went to say goodbye to the white lady because her and Casey were leaving to go to Bimini or somewhere, some beach or some shit. And she said, oh, I gotta go say bye. And she went to go say bye to that lady, and right then figured out that lady was working for the Grail, the fucking crazy organization, the whole shit. Anyway, and I had been wishing that them two would fight from the beginning, because the white lady said she wanted to kill she said she wanted to kill Tulip. She said, I just wish I could fucking kill that bitch. And we know that Tulip is a fucking psycho and a half. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to see who would win. And the white broad definitely fucking killed her, shot her right in her chest. So I was like, oh shit. And I was sad because Tulip was laying there dying. And then Casey the vampire flipped out because, you know, he's in love with her just probably more than Preacher is, actually. And he was trying to turn her into a vampire to save her. And Preacher's like, what? Fuck you. No, you're not turning into a vampire. And they started fighting. It was really good. It was really good. And then, we found out that the German dude, the leader of the Grail, has Preacher's soul that he injected into the fucking Saint of Killers. They definitely did. They wrapped everything up nice and tidy. What else? Is there anything else that I was wanting them to continue that I didn't think they would, but they did? Oh yeah, the fucking Casey's old ass vampire son that he turned into a vampire. He killed him, and I saw it coming. I was like, fuck. His son was becoming a problem. I was like, he's gonna have to kill him, but I didn't know if he would, and he definitely did. That was fucking brutal. And then what else? Preacher's losing his power, and we don't know why. His voice command power, the fucking entity, what is it called? Genesis that's inside of him. It's just not doing what it used to. And then I wish they never found out about the town that blew up, I don't think. Or did they? Ah, shit. I don't remember if they found out about their hometown exploding or not. I don't know. Either way, yeah. So, Preacher season finale was great. So that's 2 good-ass seasons in the books for Preacher. If you're not watching it, you need to be watching it. It's a really, really good show. And it's not like anything else. Oh, yeah, and the fucking kid escaped from hell. The fucking ass-face-mouth kid who blew his own head off and went to hell by mistake. He escaped from hell with Hitler. Yeah, that show's crazy as hell. And Blood Drive, I ain't gonna talk about it. That show, it grabbed me though, and I like it, and it was a good season finale. I couldn't believe that chick fucking murdered her sister tried to murder the fuck out of her after she had just been trying to save her sister for the entire season, and then she was just like, what? Well, fuck you. And then she murdered her sister, but her sister came back, and then she murdered her again, I think. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that's TV talk. Preacher's great. Blood Drive was good enough for me to stick around for the whole season. Rick and Morty is rolling strong. It's just getting better and better this season. I don't know how many more episodes we got. I think we're on number 8 now. You know what? I'll tell you what gets on my nerves about Flip or Flop. Flip or Flop is a fucking house flipping show, by the way, if you don't know. And I really like it because I just like the designs that they do. Like, I like watching Christina El Musa, or whatever their last name is, the wife. She has like excellent taste, and like I think all but 2 of the houses that I've seen them redo for flips, I have absolutely loved what she did. Like her eye for style and design is excellent, and that's why I watch it. But it gets on my nerves because it's so fucking fake. Like, it's so obviously fucking fake. And here's what I mean by that. So they'll be remodeling these houses, and the wife will say, oh, I think we should do this, because if we do this, it will carry the theme from the kitchen all the way through the whole house, and everything will match. And the husband will say something similar like, yeah, I picked out these floors because I feel like it matches the vanities and the blah and blah. And then later on, whenever they show the houses, and this goes every single fucking episode, later on, when people come on the open house and come walking through, they always comment the exact same thing that the husband and the wife said while they were remodeling it. They'll come in and they'll be like, oh, so what'd you think about the house? Oh, I love the way the floors carry over to the sconces. And then they'll have like a little kid be like, yeah, I love the way how it's the same theme carried on throughout the house. Everything matches. And it's like, yeah, they obviously were told to say that shit. And that bothers me. It's just fake. The whole shit is scripted and fake. I mean, I used to look at like design books all the time and like daydream about how I would do my house. And so watching this show is basically like watching a live version or a TV version, like what do they call that? Whatever, a cinematic version of a home decor style book, a magazine. So I just look at it for ideas basically, but the fakeness of it just gets on my nerves. Ugh. Anyway, that's it for TV shit. And that's it for the fucking movie reviews and TV and shit for this episode. So, yeah, next segment.
Next segment.
You're an asshole. And I've seen this shit a whole bunch of fucking times. And I'll be honest, I don't know how the fuck people get away with it. But I ain't no snitch. I'm just saying, I don't want nobody getting arrested for shit or nothing or getting fines and shit. On that fucking token, hold on, before I get to who's an asshole for today. There's this woman on YouTube with her YouTube channel, and her shit's called AGHB, A Girl and Her Bike. And she lives in California, and she has this one, and I've been like watching all her videos and getting caught up because I just found her shit. And one of her videos said, my bike got impounded. And I watched it, and she was on her fucking WR250R, her little street and trail. And she busted a little wheelie, and got pulled over immediately. And the cop ran over to her and he said, hey, why are you doing wheelies? And she said, huh? And then the video cut, and then it said 30 days later, and she went to go pick her bike up. Her bike, she did the littlest wheelie. A cop saw her, impounded her fucking bike for 30 days. They charged her $1,300 fucking dollars to get it out. And then the worst part, they left it sitting outside in the weather, and like half the bike was all rusted because it's not a street bike. It's not meant to be sitting outside like in the weather and shit. And the fucking bike was all rusty in a whole bunch of different places. Like even her hand grips were all fucked up from like baking in the sun and getting rained on or some shit. I was like, get the fuck out of here for a wheelie. Like she basically got $2,000 worth of fucking damage and fines for doing like the littlest wheelie you ever saw in your life. And that's some fucking straight up communist bullshit right there. So no, I don't want people out here getting fines and shit unless you litter. But I don't want you to get a fine if you litter. I want you to get your head cut off on TV. Sorry. But yeah, I'm not for like all the laws and shit. Like people, fuck all that. But what I want to say is, you're an asshole if you get fucking green headlights on your car or your truck or your SUV or your fucking station wagon or your van. Whatever. I've seen so many motherfuckers out here with these insanely bright green fucking headlights. Green like the green of stoplights. Like, you know, the red, green, yellow, the stoplights that hang for lights. Like I've seen a lot of people with their headlights that are that color and they're super fucking intensely bright. This dude on the street, I used to rent a house a couple years ago, and there was a dude down the street who had a little like, I think it was a Honda SUV. It was brand new. It was a really nice looking fucking thing. He had rims and shit on it. But he had those stupid fucking bright, crazy Krypton green headlights on his SUV, and he used to like go outside and start his car, I guess, and warm it up before he goes to work or whenever he's leaving out, and the thing would be backed into his driveway and pointed out, and he would have those fucking lights on, and every time I came around the bend, like like the fucking bright fucking green shit would just blind me as I came around the corner. That shit is whack. That shit is so fucking whack. A, it's ugly as fuck. B, it's too fucking bright. C, it's ugly as fuck. D, you're an asshole for having that shit. F, fuck you. You know what else? You're an asshole if you get super bright headlights on your shit, period. Like, I like the HID headlights that are a little bit brighter. They don't look all yellow like normal fucking headlights. They look cool as fuck. They're like even a bluish, whitish. That's just awesome. But if you get the ones that are like 10 fucking million candle power, milliwatt amp fucking bullshit, and you're just out here blinding the fuck out of everybody. I'm a truck driver at night. Like, that shit affects the fuck out of me every single night. Like, people coming behind me, and like commercial trucks don't have the kind of mirrors that dim automatically like I have in my pickup truck if people high beam you from behind. So I just have to sit there like with my eyeballs burning, like leaning away from my mirrors, trying not to crash because these a-holes want to get these super bright fucking lights. You have to take something into consideration for other people on the road, man. You can actually fucking cause somebody to get killed, seriously. And that goes for people on their motorcycles. I know a lot of people think you should ride with your high beams on for safety and shit. You're actually making it more dangerous. You're blinding people who are coming toward you, and they might fucking squint and crash, veer straight the fuck into you. It's not necessary. It's seriously not necessary. Like, honestly, unless you like delete your fucking tail lights and get the little tiny mini ones that go like tucked all up in your like my buddy, he had a Gixxer back in the day, and he got like the tail end delete shit, and he had like the little tiny miniature brake lights and tail lights and shit, and blinkers and all that. You could barely see the shit. If you have that, then yeah, you're kind of asking for it out there. People can't really see you. But if you have stock fucking lights on your shit, or at least some decent one, replacement aftermarket ones, it's not a problem. People can see you at night. You don't need your high beams on if you're on a motorcycle to be seen at night. It's not necessary. You don't need super bright fucking LED 7 zillion candle power bullshit headlights on any vehicle, period. You're just being an asshole, and you're fucking with everybody. You're just blinding people out here. A lot of people have like bad night vision, and they really can't handle that shit. And you might be like, well, fuck them. At least I can see. But you're gonna blind them, and they're gonna crash into you, you asshole. If you have super bright fucking headlights, or drive around with your high beams on, or if you get colored headlights, you're an asshole. Punch yourself in the bottom lip. Wake up. Next segment. Holy shit, is that my dad? Holy shit, I think I just drove past my dad. I ain't seen that motherfucker in like, what year is it, 2017? I haven't seen him since like since the 90s. I haven't like talked to him since the 90s, but I saw him in the store like, I don't know, a couple months ago with my kid. I said, look, there's your granddad. Just kept on going. He's never met him. That's crazy. Holy shit. I'm like 99% sure that's him. Anyway, just like I rode past my sister the other day, where I was sitting at a light on my bike, and she was at the gas station. I'm like 99% sure that was her talking to somebody. And she looked over at me. I was on my motorcycle, and when she looked, she like gave a kind of an attitude look, and I just shut my fucking visor on my helmet until the light changed and I took off. I don't get along with my sister. She's a cunt. She always has been. The last time I talked to her, she called me a cheap motherfucker. Well, the last time I saw her in person, she called me a cheap motherfucker and like turned her back and walked away. I was like, okay. And then she found me on Facebook like a couple years later, which was a couple years ago from now. And she said, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about how you got 2 nephews and a niece that you never even met, and how you got this and that. We having a family reunion, and you ain't even kind of. And I was just like, yep. Anyway, but there's another reason why I don't fuck with that side of my family. I'm talking about my dad's side, and I wrote about that in the book. That was a very, very fucked up story. Well, I mean, it's not that fucked up. It's very weird and wild that it happened. And I mean, since that fucking shit happened, I just don't fuck with that side of my family at all. Anyway, at work, just a couple things that I saw that happened. I saw like 2 nights ago, way up in the distance on the highway. I'm going like 70. I'm like, what the fuck is that gigantic blaze of a fire? And as I got closer and closer, I could make it out. It was a van, like a full-size, like family van, up in flames, like flames up to the fucking sky. And then right behind it was one cop. This is the middle of the night. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning. One cop, and it looked like he was putting one dude in handcuffs. Like just 3 feet away, like behind the fucking blazing inferno of a van. Just arresting the dude. And, so I don't know what the fuck happened with that van. I don't think it was crashed or anything. But maybe the shit caught on fire, and then the dude called 911 and the cop showed up and realized the dude was drunk or something, or I don't know, or high. I don't know, but that was crazy. Then the other thing that I saw was a flatbed tractor trailer was in front of me. And it was in the left-hand lane, and there was another van, a minivan, pulling a trailer that had 2 jet skis on it in the right-hand lane. And this tractor trailer was swerving. And I mean, the end of that tractor trailer came within a camel's nut hair away from taking out that fucking jet ski. What is it, community day down here? They always having a community day down here. Fucking damn. Meanwhile, the community is like, this is like one of the worst communities in in the whole metro area. Ugh. You know what I mean? Hey, I guess they need something to smile about. Fucking start tearing down some of these shitty ass buildings and then have a party. Get some of these motherfuckers jobs and then have a party. Anyway, so yeah, that was almost a fucking major disaster. I'm willing to bet if that fucking tractor trailer had clipped that fucking jet ski trailer, it would have yanked it to the side and it would have probably flipped that fucking van, and then people would have fucking crashed and burned all up in the fucking woods in the side of the road, and I bet you the tractor trailer driver might not have even fucking known it. He would have probably just kept on going down the road and then got to where he was going and saw the next day that his fucking something was bent. Like, oh, what the hell was this? Just crazy. And I mean, other than that, I've seen this week like 3 or 4 major fucking accidents. Like just last night, a tractor trailer head-on into the fucking rear of another tractor trailer, and that was a disaster. And there was another one. I don't know. That shit is constant. I'm just usually happy if there's no traffic, because usually when there's a fucking any kind of accident, speak of the devil, somebody's fucked up somewhere. Usually when there's any kind of a fucking accident, the traffic sucks, and that's the worst part, having a job like I have. And the other thing that I wanted to mention real quick was, fucking damn, I was unloading somebody else's truck a couple of nights ago, and there were these giant steel, not giant, there was these little steel, like solid tube, like, what's the way to, like a cylinder, like the size of half of a bowling pin, solid, some kind of metal wrapped in plastic. There were a couple of them in the back of somebody's truck, and I went and I picked them up, and they had to be, I don't know, 70 pounds or 80 pounds a piece or something. I put the motherfuckers on a skid, and then as I'm maneuvering the shit around, one of them fucking rolled off while I was talking to another dude, and I just heard boom, and I barely felt like a touch on the side of my tennis shoe. And that fucking thing fell off of the skid, which was up in the air, and landed right next to my foot. And I was like, ain't that a bitch? I mean, I was like, I got so lucky that shit didn't land on top of my foot, because it would have crushed my foot in. And it's the same foot that I broke twice. The top part, the metatarsal or whatever, the top bone right in the top middle of the foot. I broke that shit twice, and had a customer when I worked at a fucking Lowe's. The day after I broke that shit, a customer dropped a giant fucking wood beam on top of it. That's a true story. At Lowe's Home Improvement, whenever I worked there. And then fast forward to 2 days ago, I almost dropped a giant piece of fucking steel on that shit. Anyway, hey, as far as episode 23 goes, the mobile edition, I appreciate you listening. That's all I got for this one. I thought I had more files, and I honestly might here, there, or somewhere else. Somewhere I have a million files. My file system is honestly a mess right now. And this was kind of just a winging it, janky ass kind of an episode anyway. I hope there was at least some interesting shit that kept you a little bit occupied while you're driving down the street or wherever you are listening. Thanks again for tuning in. The next episode will be a proper one, I promise. If you haven't already, please go and check out my YouTube channel. That's honestly where I've been focusing a lot of my energy these days, making YouTube videos. So you should check that out. I don't know exactly how to find my YouTube page. I've been trying to find the easiest and quickest way to go straight to my home page on YouTube, my channel. And what I've learned about that is that until you hit like 1,000 subscribers, YouTube does not really fuck with you. Like, they won't make it even hardly possible for people to find you unless you send them a direct link to one of your videos. So, hey, go to my YouTube and hit subscribe and help me get that 1,000. I think I might be at like 27 right now. So, we got a little way to go, but I'm hanging in there. I honestly love doing both things, the YouTube and the podcast. I can't wait to win the lottery so I can do YouTube and podcasting as my full-time occupation and not have to worry about money from jobs. That's my goal in life right now. I love being a creator of content for the internet. I'm so tired, and this beer is not tasting as good as it should. Anyway, but it's still good though. That was episode 23. No champion beauty, no whatever the rest of the damn segments that I didn't get to this week. Honestly, I recorded that episode over like a month, a little piece here, a little piece there, whenever I could, whenever I found the time and remembered to start recording in a vehicle. That's why there's all the background noise and all that, because it was all in either my work truck or my personal vehicle. So, but hey, the show is the show, and the show must go on. So, catch you next time on episode number 24, a proper episode. Once again, you have my word. Once again, please go check out my YouTube channel. I think the best way to find it is if you type in Mega Gangster Double Rainbow. Mega Gangster Double Rainbow. 4 words. Type that in on the search in YouTube, and you should see a picture of a double rainbow. That's one of my videos. That's just a stupid video, but I mean, it's one of mine. And from there, you should be able to click on my channel and find all of my videos. And just click on the videos link, and it should give you them in order of the most recent. They've been getting a little bit better each time I put one up, I think. I've been trying to improve. Learning how to do video editing, just like learning how to do the audio editing for this podcast, is a whole job in itself. But I'm doing it because I love it. And I love you. I love you the most. Thanks again for tuning in. Catch you next time. Peace.